Okay, Ryan here. It's a bright and sunny Sunday afternoon, late morning. I've got my buddy Maverick here. Maverick, come on in.
Hey everyone, how are you?
Maverick.
He's gonna make me a new man. He can do that for you.
We got his before pictures last night, and so we're gonna watch your transformation over the next month. And yeah, he's gonna be like bright and shiny and just effervescent, and it's because of all this stuff right here. So I'm just gonna go through. Hopefully, you guys can see.
Yeah,
this.
take me through. Take me through what. Like I'm a novice. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? How do I need to prepare?
Yep.
And what are the kind of things that I need to adjust to?
Yes.
That's gonna make it palatable for me, because I wanna get into it. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to fail.
Yes.
I don't want to get like 3 days into it and gosh, it's too hard and all this. So ease me into it. Show me what I got to do and take it away.
Love it. Yeah, and I mean Maverick, we had him over for dinner last night, and I started showing him my sprouts. And he's been a friend of mine for a long time, but this is perfect because it's perfect timing, because I'm getting a lot of questions about what Maverick just said. Like, how do you do this? How do I get started? Even like now that I got my sprouts, what do I do with them? Like, how do I make a salad? How do I eat this stuff? It's funny that we have to really be taught all over again, like how to eat. And how to put these things together, how to put these sprouts together in order to make them like just so that every day when you like, I look forward, Maverick, seriously, I look forward to eating. I never thought I'd be able to say that. Like when I visited Hippocrates Health Institute, I saw the buffet. It was a bunch of freaking sprouts, and I was like, oh my gosh. How am I gonna diet? How am I gonna get that stuff in my mouth and actually, there's no way I'm gonna ever enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And so with this, I'm gonna show you with all of these things, like now, like my mouth salivates at around 11:30 because it naturally knows that my body's telling me that I'm hungry normally, which is, it's not because I'm hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic, which is part of what you're gonna be treating by eating these foods. You're gonna go to normalized blood sugars, which a lot of people don't have, and they don't even know this is the reason why, is because they're eating stuff that makes their insulin spike and go down, and their blood sugars go up and down and just go all haywire. Well, now I've got constant energy all day long, and that's the reason why. That's what I want Maverick to experience and other people to experience as well. So that's why I'm doing this. I just want to kind of lay that ground.
Now, one of the things you were saying was with the blood sugars and that is you're going to regulate that with time as well. So there's going to be certain times of the day that I have intake, and certain times of the day when I'm having what you might call intermittent fasting, or a relaxation of my nervous system, relaxation of my bowel, a relaxation of my system. Yeah.
So this, what Maverick just said, intermittent fasting is something that's been, we're both in the digital marketing space. A lot of digital marketers have really kind of gravitated to we call it IFing for short, because of the fact that it lets your body rest, which is exactly what Maverick just said. And yes, Hippocrates Health Institute, which has been doing this sprouting stuff for years and years for level 4 cancer patients. What is it, level 4? What do they call it? So So basically they treat those kind of people that come in that have those kind of conditions with this food, and they do it with things like intermittent fasting to let your body actually go into autophagy, so that it eats the bad cells, the cancer cells, all the things that we don't dispose of when we don't let our body rest and break our fast later in the day. So instead of breaking the fast at 8 in the morning with bacon and eggs and all this other stuff, you're gonna break your fast at 11 or 12 o'clock, which is about what time it is right now. So it's perfect timing. For us to, typically what I'll do is I'll have a lemon water in the morning with a little bit of cayenne maybe. So there's the lemon water. Yep. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I'll structure it a little bit by swirling it around. That structures the water kind of. And this is a distilled water, by the way. So this is how I start my day, and typically about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And then the best thing to do is to actually, if you're gonna juice, is to have a sprouted juice. So in other words, not just kale and chard and all that kind of stuff. Literally, like juicing the actual sprouts the sprouts that I'm going to show you how to make today. That is 10 times more nutritious for you with no fruit in it, no nothing. And by the way, I don't crave fruit anymore. I don't crave sugars anymore because I've stabilized my blood sugars. And this is part of what the big benefit long term that you're going to get by doing this sort of a lifestyle. So let me get into actually the basics. Like 101 is just like, how do you actually make sprouts? And some of this stuff you can't really see. So I'm going to bring it right over to the camera. I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing here. So it's really, really simple. I mean, this is, and it's got to be simple because I know that I'm a busy person. Maverick's very busy. He's got 3 kids, bouncing around the house. But this is what's going to be so cool, Mav, is you're going to have your kids, like they're going to be and they're going to love watching the sprouts grow in the jars. Like seriously, like.
So he's got me here with these kooky looking jars with kooky looking strainers on the top there and all the rest. And then he's got this whole thing going on.
Yes. And so that is just a bigger version of this. And what's going to happen is, so this is the beginning phase, okay? This is the first step in sprouting, is you've got to submerge the actual seeds. And let me just take one step back. So that's the water, about a 4-to-1 ratio of water to seed. It's a little bit more. Actually, these have swollen up a little bit because they've been in there for about 2 hours. Typically, you're going to want to sprout for between 8 to 12 hours, okay? You're going to want to sprout your seeds, and in there you can see some garbanzo, you can see some mung, some fenugreek, some adzuki, some lentils. Those are all, like, each one has its own vitamin and mineral and like profile. And so they're going to treat, each one of those is going to treat a different thing and give you different nutrition or nutritional value than the other one would. So that's what's so cool. That's why I do a mix. Okay, that's really important to mention. I do a mix so that when we do one sprouting, so I'm doing one sprouting, and this is gonna actually be sprouted out. Okay, I'll show you the process in a second here, but these seeds are gonna be ready in 3 days. Now I already told Maverick that last night, and I think even he, yeah, we're gonna show you in a second here. But basically these seeds, okay, those are wheatgrass. Yes, those are wheatgrass, and this is those wheatgrass seeds.
So they're going to start here, and then they're going to fill the jar.
Yes, and those wheatgrass seeds are going to turn into this lovely, just bouquet of wheatgrass that you can snip off, and you can either juice or it sounds crazy, but I literally just chew this stuff. I mean, it literally, and the chlorophyll just goes right into your body. Oxygen fills your body with oxygen, etc., etc. Anyway. You can grow this yourself. This is the stuff that you buy that, at the juicing counter, and it's like, $3 an ounce. You can grow it yourself for pennies. So that's what he just showed you is wheatgrass seed. And so that's what's gonna happen. So eventually this is gonna turn into something like that, exactly. This is gonna turn into that. And what's gonna happen, and actually I'm gonna show you, here, hold on one second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna this is another sprouting container, okay? This one right here. So this is what they're gonna turn into. So these are, you can see the little sprouts on all of these. So this is actually what that is gonna be. These are gonna turn into this in 3 days. So basically there's a rinsing cycle that you're gonna go through in order to get this to turn into what I just showed you there, okay? So the first step though
So my first step is get the right equipment.
Yes.
Is get the jars and get the funny kooky little strainer things.
Yes.
And then soak.
Yes.
So first soak.
Yes.
And then after that, you're saying don't let it go stagnant. You're saying rinse it through a few times through some cycles. Then it allows it to sprout.
Yes.
The little pokey bits comes out of the seed and starts to have these little tendrils coming up and all the rest. And when the tendrils are up, that's when it's ready to eat.
That's when you're ready to eat it.
Okay,
yep. So basically, you gotta now. There's a lot of different ways that you can, sprouting utensils, so to speak, or sprouting tools that you can get. This is one of the containers that you can actually sprout in. My favorite is this. It's simple. It just uses mason jars, which is what you probably already have some at your house. All you need to get is these. They call them toppers. Okay, there's a red one, a green one, and a yellow one. okay? So you can see the yellow one's got a very fine mesh, the red one's the least fine, and the green one is right in the middle, okay? And obviously you want to use these based on the size seeds that you have, so that when you flip it over to drain them out, the seeds don't go out. So I would use this one with like broccoli seeds, for example, and you can use this big red one with the bigger like garbanzo beans, etc. So that's all you're gonna need. So these are called toppers, and they're by a company. I'll put the link in the video below, but it's like $10 for all three of these. You just buy them as a set, and then it even comes with a jar. So just to give you an example of how easy this is, my son just sprouted his first, did his first thing of sprouting, and I sent him home with, the set and a mason jar and some seeds inside, and he's literally he's eating sprouted foods 3 days later. It's super easy. Anybody can do it. Pennies on the dollar. Like seriously, here's the amazing thing is that 1 pound of seeds will produce 10 pounds of food. And these seeds are good for up to 5 years. So if you're a prepper, like here you go. This will feed you for about 2 months. This is 5 pounds of one type of seed. So I buy these from Amazon, and this is anywhere from $20 to $40 for 5 pounds of these seeds. And basically I've got, you guys can't see this, but I've got, 4 other containers down here. I've got garbanzos, monk, fenugreek, and this is what I use in the mix. So I just I take out an equal portion of each, and I just put it in a jar. I put the seeds in a jar, and then I fill the jar. Basically, like I said, 4 to 1 ratio is what you want. So I've got about 1 part in the beginning. These have swollen up a little bit because they've been soaking for about 3 hours already, like I said. But basically, you want to start about right there, 1 part seed, and then you just fill the rest of the jar with water, and that's it. I mean, you're soaking it for 8 to 12 hours overnight or during the day. You do want this to be in a dark place. So what I do is I just put these in the drawers, or in the cupboard, so that it's dark. And then another really good tip is that at the end, when they're done soaking, you can pour this water off, and your plants love the water that comes off this. Because there's some enzymes that inhibit animals from eating seeds, like whatever, God, nature, higher power, basically made it so that these things have a protective mechanism. And anyway, that's why sprouting nuts and seeds is good to do, like almonds as well, because otherwise you're eating that protective enzyme on the outside if you don't sprout it. So that's another reason to sprout, let alone all the other stuff that happens when they actually, go ahead.
Now, one of the things you were talking about the fact that when you have a seed and you sprout it, that it has a thing like bioluminescence. There's this ability to take a scientific tool, look at the energy of that sprout, and you can see that it has a field effect. Like there's an effect outside of the skin of the seed and outside the shell of the sprout. And it's extending quite a long way. Whereas if you take a burger and use the same tools and look at it, the burger is fairly inert. It's not really radiating a lot of energy.
Yes.
So you were saying that if I eat the burger, I have to then take energy from my natural energy, my natural chi, and I have to energize the burger so that I can make it bioavailable. But you're saying, but the sprout already has this bioluminescence, and that because it has that, what happens is instead of it taking chi from me, taking energy from me to activate it, it is giving me the chi. It's giving me the energy. So that's really the fundamental principle you were saying, describing last night.
Living food.
Was here's a living food that's giving me the bioluminescence rather than me having to activate it. And so instead of me trading my life force for food and getting older, it's actually supplying me. So I'm getting this ageless quality.
Right. You said, that's actually exactly what's going on. So, I don't want to get too down a rabbit hole here, but bottom line is that these are living foods. That's the difference. There's raw food diet and there's vegan and blah, blah, blah. But the difference between that and what this is that this is actually a vibrating, living food when you're consuming it. That's the difference between this lifestyle and every other lifestyle is that when you consume this little sprout right here, this little guy right here is absolutely living. If I eat this right now, it's living at the exact moment that I'm eating it. That's why we call it a living food lifestyle. So the key is to be able to get and consume as much of your diet as possible with living foods. If you can, though, and I'm just gonna say this ahead of time as well, is that if you can at least just get one, we call them sun salads. If we get one sun salad in your body a day, then that is really our goal. If you can get that one sun salad, which would be comprised of peas, sunflower sprouts, and then these sprouts, then that's doing really, really good. So anyway, so back to actually sprouting. So this is gonna sit for 8 to 12 hours. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour off that water into our plants or whatever to feed the plants. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rinse the seeds. You're gonna put water on the top. Okay, you're gonna actually just put, once it's all drained out, you're gonna rinse them, and then you're gonna turn it over. Okay, these have little prongs right here. I don't know if you can see the little prongs. See that little prong? So that little prong keeps this from sealing against the whatever it's laying flat against, so that air can get up into the seeds and keep them aerated. Okay, so that's why these toppers are they're so great, because they're so easy to use, and because they've got everything. This is what they're for. So the bottom line is all you got to do is just place this down anywhere you want in a dark area, and you just got to rinse these twice a day for 3 days. Okay, you got to rinse the seeds 2 times a day for 3 days, and that's it. I mean, that really is what's going to bring these things to life and make it so that you can just eat these really quickly and easily. So having said that, I'm just gonna make us a salad, each of us. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna show you how to prepare these little suckers.
Yes. So that's the first thing, is making them. Oh, by the way, before we do that, I just want to show you that these right here. Okay. So what I'm gonna show you here and what we're gonna eat today is we're gonna eat. These are actually these are sunflower sprouts right there. Thanks, Maverick. I don't know if you want to open that top up so that they can see them easier.
Now these are the purchase variety.
Yes.
These are the homegrown.
These are the grown variety. Yes. So there's the pea sprouts. So these are sunflower sprouts. So this guy right here is just amazing. That thing right there is so nutritious for you. It's literally packed more protein in that than there is in steak. More digestible protein in this per ounce than there is in steak and in pea sprouts. This is the king.
So this is equivalent to a quarter pounder.
It is, really. I mean, that's about a quarter pound of weight, right? So this would give you way more protein. So the people that say, oh, you're on a vegan diet, how are you gonna get your protein? Like my parents say sometimes, a lot still. I'm like they don't get it. These sprouts have more protein than any other food source in existence.
And this is what you were telling me last night, is you said most people have this idea that you need to eat cow meat, a steak, or pig meat or lamb meat
in order to get that.
In order to get protein. But one of the things you were pointing out is that cows eat grass to get protein.
Yes.
Grass has protein, and cows eat grass to get protein so they can grow muscle.
Exactly.
So you're saying that in a similar way, our biology is similar, is that we can eat grass, sprouts, and we can derive the protein and we can build muscle from that protein.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is, so we are, I mean, Maverick said it, so that's the key. So what Maverick's saying is that these animals are deriving protein from the grass. That's what they're eating. We can do the exact same thing. That's exactly right. And so look at these beautiful, I grew these. These are, and all this is and you don't even have to do this. You don't even have to use this is actually coconut. What do they call it? I forget, but basically it's the discarded coconut husks that are all ground up That's what I use to look at the roots there. It's just so cool to be able to see the roots just going through that. So these are the pea sprouts, and I don't know if I have an example in the refrigerator there. And these are the sunflower sprouts. Okay, so these sunflower sprouts, you can see the little hulls there. They call them black oil sunflower sprouts, and the seeds are in there. But this is what they end up turning into. So these are the full grown. So this guy right here is going to turn into this in about 3 to 5 days. That is what's so cool. And this is gonna be like one salad, one full salad for somebody right here. And so for people that say that, I got to go get the trays or whatever, I got to go buy the big trays, you don't have to do that. This is what I'm using is I'm just reusing these. Look at it. You notice the similarity? I'm just using the containers that these come in to grow some more of them. That's all I'm doing. And so anybody can do this at home. So that's that. Typically, by the way, I do want to say that typically before I have my salad, I will have a little bit of fermented FF, some fermented food. You want it without vinegar. So I just have like any sort of sauerkraut or kimchi to just kind of get my digestive tract going and ready. And then we are going to use some dulse to give it some saltiness. These are sea vegetables, awesome for detoxing. And this is wakame, and you can buy it in that variety as well, already chopped up, so you can just sprinkle it right on the top. Gives it great taste, great flavor. And then before I forget, everybody needs a B12. So if you're not taking B12, this is a biologically available strain of it.
Now, how much fun is it to have your own food production system without having to have an FDA approved kitchen with stainless steel thing and inspectors coming through and all that sort of stuff? How cool is it to be able to just have your own production system in such a simple way? What does it? How does it feel to you, like as a person?
I love it. I mean, that's a great question.
You love being a producer?
Yeah, it's really fun because you go back to like my family are all farmers from North Dakota, and if my cousin, who's literally still farming the farm that my grandfather and his grandfather and his grandfather's grandfather got homesteaded over 150 years ago here in the U.S. up in North Dakota, if he knew, Brian, that I was doing this, this is basically farming, but on a micro scale. And that's the amazing thing about this, Maverick, is literally if you have that much of a footprint anywhere in your house or in your trailer or wherever you're at, you can stack these and you can literally feed yourself for like dollars a day, like maybe $2 or $3 a day. And the oxygen that this stuff gives off purifies the entire environment that you're in. It's like, and there's no transportation of the food to get to you. We're not continuing to.
There's no guys in white coats coming there with freaking clipboards going, "Is your place sanitary?"
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like it's organic. This is one. You don't have to guess. Is it organic? Is it really organic? In Whole Foods, there's a lot of people that go to Whole Foods, and there's a lot of stuff that you hear on the news right now about people buying stuff at Whole Foods and not really like, is it really organic or not? And the only thing I have to have transported to me is the seeds, and these seeds, like I've already said, last 5 years. So this is the ultimate. If you want to be ready, if the shit really hit the fan, like. You're ready.
That's for all you conspiracy folks.
Right?
But for all you regular folk, it's just about this bioluminescence. It's the ability to get a huge amount of energy, stabilize your blood sugars, stabilize your nervous system, and be able to get a lifestyle which is quick, easy, and fun.
Yeah.
Because you can grab your sprouts, you can have your thing, you're ready to go, you do your exercise, you go to work, and you're done. You're not buggerizing around, having to go to bloody Trader Joe's and off down to Vons and off to the supermarket and the groceries and sit there with bags and bags and bags of stuff, because you're getting that in there. And that's really what you were communicating to me was, I'm trading in 15 bags of food, which is fairly dubious, which I've got to put natural energy into to kind of activate. Whereas here, the sprouts are activating themselves.
Yes.
So they're actually giving back to me. So for me, it's actually a reverse of the process of activation. And for me to get that kind of benefit at such an easy way and such a cheap price, I mean, it's kind of an experiment that I'm willing to go on. So,
I know. I'm so glad
take
you
me
are.
on the journey. Show me how to prepare it.
I will.
And show me how to make a fucking taste. Sorry, no swearing. Show me how to make it tasty.
I'm good. I'm getting there. I'm like baiting him in. He's like, just show me.
He's
show me.
He's like teasing.
I know.
I'm like, get this little bugger started. Give me a fork and let's go.
Well, because he is fasting. He came over last night, so he wasn't in front of me.
I gotta wait till 11 o'clock, bro.
Actually, 11:30. So it's good. So
it's good.
So 16-hour fast. We were talking about that earlier about a 16-hour fast.
But because you're here, I get to eat right now.
Yes. 16-hour fast is what we want you to have. If you can make sure that whatever, just add 4 hours to whenever you stopped your meal the night before. So let's say you stopped your meal at 6 o'clock, that means you can eat at 10 a.m. the next morning. If you give your body that break every day with this, and you do a few other things, like, I would say, like, there's some other things I'll talk about later, but yeah, those are things.
Now, what you were saying that there's a way to do the 16 hours. You could do the 16 hours from midnight, and 16 hours would mean you can't eat till 4 p.m.
Yes.
That's kind of just ridiculous.
Yes.
People get hungry, they start getting the munchies,
Yes.
they break their willpower. So you were saying, instead of going from midnight to 4 p.m., you were saying shift everything around and maybe make the last time I'm eating, say, 6 p.m.
5 or 6,
Say 5 or 6. Have chow down at like 5 or 6, and then by the time I'm sort of 6 p.m., I'm kind of winding my way down to bed anyway. So I've got, say, 3-4 hours left in me. And then what I'm doing is the 16 hours is while I'm sleeping. Then it's through the night and it's in the morning. And as it comes around to 10 a.m. I'm ready to go.
You're ready. Yes.
So it's not that big a deal.
Yes.
For me to fast until 10 a.m.
Yes.
But if I had to fast until 4 p.m., I'm cactus. I'm totally cactus.
Yeah.
So just adjusting that 16 hours so that it really fits in with the normal daily lifestyle.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
And because it's now 11 o'clock, because we're a little bit late, I get to eat now.
Yes, because I want him to get these sprouts in him. I want him to see this process. So this is good. I'd rather get the sprouts in him, even though we're a little bit short on, we're a little bit early on the 16 hours.
Here we go.
Well, in a second. So I do want to talk about a couple things. You had mentioned Mav, and he's going to be back in a second. But Maverick mentioned one thing. He mentioned about the phytochemicals. These have phytochemicals in them, like sulforaphane. So sulforaphane has been proven it's the #1 cancer-fighting agent ever identified, ever. Okay, so what that means is that, and by the way, sprouts, like broccoli sprouts, broccoli sprouts actually have up to 50 times the amount of phytochemicals in them than their full-grown adult counterparts. That is amazing. That's why, so it's because these things have phytochemicals, sprouts have phytochemicals, they have oxygen, they're just rich in oxygen, and they also have hormones that allow your cells to communicate so that you'll feel this. Your synapses will actually start firing at a totally different rate and at a totally different level. Yes, and he's bringing out some of the other good stuff. He's ready to eat, I can tell. And this will, by the way, the fasting process will get easier and easier as you start eating this. They complement each other, the fasting and eating these foods, because your blood sugar will normalize by eating sprouted foods like this, and that will make it so easy for you to get through the 16 hours. You'll literally get this, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I guess it's time to eat. So anyway, and yes, what Maverick was talking about earlier, that he's calling it a bioluminescence. Basically, when they looked at these sprouts using this tool to identify the electromagnetic frequency that basically these sprouts give off, it stretches out almost 2 feet. Anything else, any other food, doesn't matter if it's organic or whatever, it's just millimeters, it's like a ½ inch. These are just radiating, they're vibrating on such a high level that, and they're already, by the way, this is the amazing thing, what Maverick touched on it, is these foods are already pre-digested. They come with enzymes in them that make it so that basically your body doesn't have to produce any extra energy, like Maverick was saying, because the enzymes are already within them for them to be digested in your gut. And that's amazing. I never feel lethargic at all after eating a live food lunch or whatever. So let me go through, and I'm going to show you exactly. I'm going to make 2 salad bowls. I wish I had 2 of the same size, but Maverick's going to. We'll give you the big one today. We'll give you the big one. You're going to get the big one because I know you're hungry. So the one thing I do need is if you can grab the scissors from over there. So I'm going to show you guys a strategy here that makes this process easier. Thank you, sir. So scissors. So we could use a knife and cut these, but just getting down and dirty and scissoring these things is an easier way to actually get them, so that it's not like spaghetti, like, you know, where you got these. It just gets unruly. You want to just be able to like mix everything up. That's part of, from my experience, what makes this such an enjoyable meal is to be able to mix all these flavors together that we're going to create here. So what I typically will start with is either pea or these are sunflower sprouts. Okay, so I just took the sprouts, and all I'm doing is I'm just cutting them just like that, right into the bowl. Boom, boom. Now there is another scissor over there that I think is going to be better than this one, but you guys get the point. So now, if you can show them, see guys? So now that's all cut up right there for the most part. You know, I'm just cutting these up, makes it super easy, easier to get on a fork. And then typically what I'll do, so that's the whole box that's one box. That, you can see that fills it up about 1/4 of the way. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some of these microgreens. These are microgreen kale. There's the kale. So these are just like the regular kale plants that you see. These are just micro versions of it. And these have up to 50 times more nutrients than the adult counterparts. So I'm gonna load you up with that. Your body's gonna feel this, man, big time. All right, so then we've got, I purchased these organic radish sprouts. Look at how beautiful and purple those are. Anytime I can get purple in my diet, oh my gosh, that's like there's, you know, they say that's royalty. There's a reason. It's also when you eat it, it's makes you feel the same way. It does to your body what you want. It's good stuff. Okay, so that's radish. And then I've also got this is a spicy sprout mix. Okay, so this has actually got clover and radish in there. Okay, so I'm gonna take that, and these you can purchase for and there you can see, you can purchase these and they last about 5 days in the refrigerator, maybe $2-3 for this whole thing. Now, you can sprout these yourself, okay? In other words, instead of actually buying these, you know, you can sprout these as well. Radish and clover, you can sprout these. I just bought these because I do my mix. I do my main bowl. And one second. So here, I'm gonna show you. So here's these. Okay, a little bit of that. I don't want to load you too much up with those. I try to make most of my meal is going to be sprouts. So here, by the way, I've got these prepared, these pre-made. Here, let me just take this off. So these are my sprouts. Okay, so basically what I did is I just took them out of my container like this, and I just poured them into this pasta maker, or pasta, whatever you call this thing. It's a stainless steel pasta maker, and so I've got this little area that I can put sprouts in, and then underneath it, look at that. There's mung sprouts. These are so good. You guys had some of these last night. So I'm gonna take some of both of these. So this is the mix. This, by the way, is the mix that I talked to you about earlier. This is your mix of seeds right here. You've got garbanzo and blah, 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 all in there. So I'm gonna take a good solid handful and pour those babies right on top. Boom. That is heaven on earth right there. All right, so hold on. So we got that. And then I like mung because I'm getting a little bald spot in the back of my head. And this is great. It's got zinc. It's the highest known available food for that has zinc. There's no other food on that I know of that actually has as much zinc as this does in it. So, and zinc helps your hair not turn white and also gives you more hair. So who doesn't want that, right? So I usually do a little bit extra of these, and just because I like the flavor of them, they're so good. Okay, and like I said, each one of these different sprouts, and this is again the reason why I do all 5 of these, this mix in here, is because each one of these has its own certain thing that it does, and it gives it's got its own profile of vitamins and nutrients and minerals, on trace minerals. So I'd rather just do a mix, which is what I gave you from here. Wait, where's the, here. So this is the mix. This is the mix. It's got not just mung, it's got garbanzo and fenugreek and everything else. So so we've got that so far. Now what I'm gonna do is now people always ask me, okay, what do you put on top of this thing? You put salad dressing? No, do not put salad dressing on top. Do not disgrace this amazing abundance of just living food kill it with like salad dressing. I mean, the best thing to do is to keep it simple. So to give it some texture.
And the thing you were saying about salad dressing is that it's got a lot of sugar in it, things like that.
Yes.
So the sugar is actually an acid that's eating away at the enzyme action of the sprout.
Totally.
So you're saying get something that complements what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So you want to keep it simple. You know, I already cut a lemon up earlier, so I usually just use lemon and squeeze that right in there. Let me get the seeds out here. Okay, so just squeeze the lemon right in there, and that is just awesome. I mean, that right there is really, you know, it gives you another extra flavor. Now you can use olive oil, but let me show you in a second. I'll get the olive oil in a second. He's got it right below me here, but so we can use I'm gonna talk about this because a lot of people they'll use olive oil. First of all, not all olive oil is the same, okay? Typically, the olive oil that you buy at the grocery store is rancid. It's not. I mean, I've learned a lot about olive oil, but so I would stay away for the most part from olive oil. If you can, I would try not to use it. I would just use an avocado to give you some more creamy texture if you like that. And what I would use is this is one of the things that I do purchase. I make this myself as well, but this is sprouted hummus, and this is a garlic spread. And I just take this spread, comes in a lot of different flavors, and I just put this right on top and I mix it right in. So you've got garlic or hummus that you can mix in there with the lemon, and it's just got amazing flavors. And that's what I use for my salad dressing. So we've got a bunch of different options. They make this in I use the garlic one. They've got it in cayenne. They've got it in jalapeno. They've got it in dill flavor. And then they've just got plain. So let me just show you really quick. So the other thing that I do add as well is I'll add some hemp seed. I'll add some hemp seed to it. So here's some hemp seed. Do you like hemp seed?
Sure.
Okay. So we're gonna add just a little bit of hemp seed in there. Boom. Okay, and then the other one that's really good is chia seed. Yep. And we're gonna add some saltiness to it. Okay, here's some chia seed. Boom. Okay, and then, so now dulse. This is a great additive as well. Just add some saltiness to it.
It's like a salt alternative.
Yes, it is. And this also is amazing for detoxing your body. And again, you can buy the dulse in dehydrated in big flakes like this, and just try to chop it up yourself and put it in there as well. One last thing. You do like avocado, right?
Sure.
Okay. So avocado, I'm gonna chop this thing up, and if you guys, I'm sure you guys all know how to do this, but basically I just cut it in half. Yeah, that's plenty. You like lemon? Nav's all over the lemon. All right. So here's the avocado. I usually just do this thing, and that makes it super easy. Boom. And then I just cut it out like that, and then I just put it right in there. Yep. Boom. So we've got some creaminess from the avocado. We've got the lemon that gives us some tanginess. We've got the dulse that gives us some saltiness. And then, are you good with some of this?
A little bit.
Okay. It really is good stuff. Here, let me just. Okay. So I'll just add a little dollop in there of that. That's the garlic. I use like 3 to 4 times that. Just so you know. So what I'll typically do, now that's it. I mean, that right there, that's a sun salad, like especial right there. So what I would do is I would just, that right there, I don't know if you guys can see all that's in there. That is amazing living food right there. So what we're gonna do, I'll just mix that thing up. I'll mix it up. Just start eating it from the top. Go for it. Here, you go. This is mine? This one's mine. All right, so you can see like I've got all the sunflowers on the bottom there, and then I just mix in all the stuff. I lost one a lot. See, I'm used to using the big bowl. I make these so big. This is my lunch, and this will last me until 4 or 5 o'clock when I eat dinner. And then typically I go out, I do what other people eat. I eat other stuff that other people eat, and I'll eat late at night sometimes. You just got to modify your fasting schedule and your eating schedule. This right here. Oh my gosh. So good. So good. I mean, I can't wait. Here, you gotta try that.
Sushi.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know. What do you think, Maverick? What other questions you got?
Look, I think some of the biggest things are, is it easy? I mean, if you were spending 10 hours a day doing food production, most people are like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is are we able to fill a jar with water?
Yeah.
Can we forget about it for half a day?
Right.
And in the dark, in a drawer. Mm-hmm. And then can we come out there and then just bloody tip it out through this thing here? Mm-hmm. Then once it's happening, mm-hmm. Can you fill it up, rinse it, fill it up, rinse it, fill it up, rinse it? Go over 3 days.
Yeah.
And then are you left with a bunch of food? Mm-hmm. Can you take that food? Can you easily prepare it using something like that?
Well,
something like
preferably olive oil.
Something like that.
Yep. Or lemon.
Something like that.
Yeah. And lemon.
Yeah, and lemon. Can you prepare it with something that's fairly easy?
Yep.
Most of you can get an avocado. Most of you can get a lemon.
Yep.
Most of you can get a bit of hummus or something like that.
Yeah.
Can you prepare it like that? Can you make it into something that's edible?
Yeah.
And when I tasted it yesterday, I was expecting it to be absolutely gross, absolutely terrible, mm-hmm. and I thought I was going to gag on it. I go and eat this thing and I go, what the heck is that?
Right.
It was a surprise. It was the surprise factor that's got me into this whole thing. I was expecting it to be like eating rabbit food and like I was just going to gag. Right. And I didn't.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it. And I think it was the enjoyment of the food that made this preparation something interesting to me, and I thought, shit, if it's easy and it's enjoyable, why not? Let's give it a go. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the transformation of me being a fatty to me actually being in my peak optimal state. And that's what I'm really looking for is as I work hard, I want to be in my peak optimal state, and I want to be able to do that for many, many years to come. Yeah. So I'm looking at this thing that's got lots of energy, mm-hmm. something that's going to give life to me. It's got all the enzyme action it's going to do. It's going to repair the cells of my body. It's easy to do. It's tasty. So I'm prepared to give it a go. Now you're saying that you're going to see a body transformation in 10 weeks?
I seriously think that you're gonna see it. And let me just be very specific on what we're doing here. All we're doing with Maverick, and for you, all I'm asking is if you just replace one meal a day with a sun salad.
Yep.
Okay. Keep it simple, like Maverick said. If you have to go buy your own stuff, go buy your own stuff. Whatever you got to do. If you don't want to sprout yourself, don't sprout. Just get it. You can buy it. You can buy the seeds as well. You can buy these sprouted seeds as well in Whole Foods or anywhere else. So all you got to do is have one sun salad a day. replace one meal a day with that, and then just do the 16-hour fast. If you can do those two things, I think that in a matter of, let's say, a month, you will start, actually in 2 weeks.
So you think I'll notice something
man.
in 2 weeks to 4 weeks, but you're saying that the kind of the transformation that I'm talking about is kind of getting into more of an optimal state,
Yes.
maybe 10 weeks.
I'd say between 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking, let's just say conservatively 90 days.
Yeah.
3 months, let's just say 90 days, 3 months, 12 weeks, 10 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. You're saying I'm going to have a completely different look.
Yes.
I'm going to have a different feel.
Yes.
And I'm going to have a different appreciation of life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I could do 5 years of therapy, meeting my therapist at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, every single Tuesday, lying on the couch, and we can regurgitate all the stuff that my mum said and all the stuff that my dad said and how my sister hit me over the head with a hairbrush.
Yeah.
Or I could start to create transformation in my life for pennies on the dollar, doing something that's very, very simple, complementing it with stuff that's readily available, and I'm going to see transformation.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the challenge. That's what we're putting to you guys, is come on the journey of the challenge. Come and look at me in my fatty state, and let's go see if the next 8 weeks, whether we're going to see this remarkable transformation that he's promising. And if so, that means it's readily available for you, because we're not doing anything super crazy here. There's no hyperbaric chambers. We're not doing halo jumps from 10,000 feet. We're not going underwater and then holding our breath for 14 minutes or anything like that. So super easy, super available, super accessible. So come on the journey, see what we're doing, and let's have a blast. Let's see if it actually, buddy, pans out the way we think it is.
Love it.
Cheers. Awesome.
Thanks. High five.
Peace out. Bye.